These are the stories
My little girl, she's changing lives just by being herself.
of organizations and people making a difference.
When you first tell someone about adaptive wheelchair boxing, it doesn't sound real.
And empowering others
It saved my life. It saved my life.
across Canada
I scored my first goal in my first blind hockey game.
in our community.
My name is Melanie Cote, and I am the founder of Do Good Donuts. Our goal is to grow into a full brick-and-mortar cafe and bakery where we can increase the number of young people we hire, create a more operationalized food service business, and change the world one donut at a time. Do Good Donuts is a nonprofit social enterprise that runs a charitable training program where young adults with developmental disabilities or neurodivergent youth can be hired for paid on-the-job training to learn to work at work and gain the skills, confidence, and experience they need to thrive at jobs in the community. Right now, we sell donuts and cookies that are made here in the building that we're in, a church located in the East End of Toronto. We've been operating as a farmer's market business and doing catering. I worked in advertising, and I was working on a campaign with a large national retailer. And as part of this campaign, they were creating a partnership with an organization that works with people with disabilities. And they were talking about what this campaign would mean. And one aspect of what they were hoping to do was to hire someone in the youth age group who self-identified as having a developmental disability, an intellectual disability, or being an autistic young person at the time was the language that they were using. And as someone who has a child who's growing up with a developmental disability, that was really exciting to me. But when I shared this with some of the other parents I know whose kids were further along in that journey, they were very skeptical that that's really what would happen, because they said to me at that time, Melanie, you'll learn that people have those intentions and they talk about this all the time, but when you're out in the community, you'll realize that's not reflected in the shops or the restaurants or the retail locations that are out there in the world. And the idea for Do Good Donuts came about wondering if we could create a place that sat between those two entities. It's a real business with real customers. It works at the pace of business, but it's been informed by a bunch of systems and processes from various employers that we've spoken to. And we're developing training that we're hoping we can scale beyond our doors to give employers who are doing the hiring the tools that they need to adapt their training in order to be able to serve the needs of these trainees so that they can get a job, retain the job, and thrive at work in the community.
My name is Lawrence, and I'm the lead baker at Do Good. I've been a baker here for a little over a year now. I started off as a just baker, but now I've transitioned to the lead baker role, and I am pretty much in charge of the cookies, the helping people make stuff. Like, we hired a bunch of new employees this year, so I'm helping everybody learn how to make things. So it's been a nice period of me being able to show leadership skills. I baked as a hobby, but never actually as a job. I come here every day and I really enjoy it because of how much I like baking, which is nice because I never really feel like I'm coming to work.
My name is Spencer Powell, and I am one of the bakers here at Do Good Donuts. My duties include cleaning the kitchen, making cookies, making donuts, and, well, in general, just keeping it running.
Over time, we've been able to get better and better at the program that we're doing, which is now allowing us to figure out some other parts of the equation that we just couldn't do when we were at the very beginning. How can we create training materials that go along with the training that we've just been verbally giving? Can we begin to form more relationships with employers so that we can fill that last piece of the puzzle, which is train with us for a set period of time and then move on to jobs in the community?
We're gonna start putting all the wet ingredients first into Sir Mix-a-Lot. We're just mixing all the ingredients into one bowl. My day starts by, well, one, waking up. And second, it starts off by me getting here Thursdays and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 2, Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays, here's the big one, 6 a.m. to 12. It's hard, but it's worth it. Well, the cookies we were just making were called ginger molasses, and they are ginger tasting, but we also have a variety of others like chocolate chip, triple chocolate, which I think is what the others are making right now. The small ones need to be at minimum 50 grams. The large ones need to be at least 80. It's got to be, my limit is at least 2 grams front, up and down.
My name is Brain. I'm from Good Donuts.
Yeah. I'm Gary Dean, Sven's father.
Making cookies, making donuts, making a cinnamon bun, putting the sugar, brown sugar, like putting the cookie, mixing, and put a tray. I'm making brownies.
Okay.
Next step is put the eggs. We'll put in the bowl.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and my role at Do Good is an assistant baker for Melanie. So these are our chocolate glazed donuts that we sell. We just dunk it in the chocolate glaze, wipe it on the side of the bowl. So I basically help with making all the donuts. I help with making the cookies.
Hi, my name is Pam, and my role is to do whatever is necessary in the day to get the product made and out to market. Yes, I am Ryan's mom. Melanie put out a calling for trainees, and we applied for the trainee program. So Ryan was one of her first trainees for the first year, and then he was hired on for the second year, and he's been assistant baker for a couple of years now.
Sven is, since the beginning, it's 3 years. He's worked for Do Good Donuts. Yeah.
A little bit. Oh, perfect. That's good.
Our next step is to mix all the ingredients together according to the recipe. Yeah, make these delicious brownies that we sell at farmers markets, new this year. We make delicious cinnamon buns on Sundays that are to die for. So,
My favorite thing to bake are it's a tie between cookies and donuts, because donuts are just it's actually really simple, because the dough you do to make them, it's very, no matter what order, it's always gonna make the dough. So it's very simple, but I also love the cookies because of the variety and how satisfying it is to get that precise measurement.
We have fun, we work hard, and we sell great product. It's nice working with your son. I had to check with him and make sure it was okay. For the first couple of years I volunteered, he said it was okay, so I'm good to go.
In general, the whole environment's great. As I said, I love coming to work every day. It's just, it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like it does, but it's enjoyable.
Donuts make people happy. I felt there was an opportunity to choose some kind of product that people already liked. Because for all of the people who maybe weren't prepared to recognize employees with Down syndrome and employees with autistic employees and other neurodivergent employees as having the skills and capacity to safely and in a skilled way create a product that they're happy food. They're fried. Also, Do Good Donuts just sounded really good, and I work in advertising, and it popped into my head. It seemed like a good idea. But the process, the complex process, the amazing employers out there who are already donut shops, the ability to have a number of steps where people who maybe were working on the process start to finish, but could have a part in the process was also important. And then it just sort of opened the doors to other products that went along with donuts, coffee, tea, breakfast sandwiches. Like, how could we do a morning style business when people have more vim and vigor than a nighttime style business that people would like? And it turns out that people really do like donuts. We've met a lot of people over rainbow sprinkles.
Our Community will return after the break. We now return to Our Community.
The amazing thing that did come out of running this smaller version is we learned a ton about working with the young people that we're providing training for. We learned a ton about producing food, and I learned personally just how even I, who believe that my daughter is capable of just about anything, had underestimated the capacity that our training employees with disabilities have to do an amazing job.
My name is Alma. Hi, nice to meet you. I mostly help with advertising around here. I like to talk to a lot of people. I think that I could do my job, and that I'm very responsible for my job, that I'm committed to do.
Learning this in this setting, in this smaller setting, has really informed the development of what the future of Do Good Donuts can look like, because, you know, they come to work and they learn with us, and before they start, they tell us about what they think they're going to be able to do, the job they might want to do, stuff they won't want to do, stuff that's going to be too hard or they're not going to know how to do. And they all exceed all of their own expectations, let alone my expectations and customer expectations, the parents' expectations. It is really remarkable that when you give people an opportunity and bring the right tools to the table and put them in a situation that was created in order for them to succeed, just how far they can go. It's amazing. So we're outside the door of the future home of Do Good Donuts. Come on inside and let's take a look. Come on, follow me. Our next big plan is to move up into a brick and mortar space to start serving customers, retail customers at our own front door, and to grow our revenue and our brand presence. So we're inside the space that's going to be our cafe, and it doesn't look like much now, but we're really excited about what the future holds for us. Our business has customer demand that exceeds our capacity to meet the demand. We have a lot of limitations because the size of our organization is very small on a limited budget. In our space, it has ridiculously high ceilings. It's got cinder blocks and huge windows, which is going to create a really bright, welcoming environment. It's kind of cool. It's got that hip industrial vibe, which is amazing. That there looks like a whole jumble of stuff here, but that's because we have already acquired all of the equipment that we need. And so as soon as we're able to start construction, we'll be ready to start building what will become the first physical model of Do Good Donuts.
We're kind of creating a system for when we have our cafe, when we hire trainees to have them have a set system. So we're kind of working on our situation in terms of training people for better jobs.
We have had 7 people so far ask us about the potential of franchising Do Good Donuts across the country, something that has been hard for us to really wrap our head around from our church basement, but the ability to grow into that space and get all of our systems and processes in place and get all of our learning and our training materials created in a way that they can be replicated, that's certainly an option for us.
When I'm showing the trainees like how to do something, I like to walk them through the process, show them how to do it so they're able to do it next time. Because showing somebody how to do something and then just telling them to do it isn't really helpful, because you want to show them all the techniques that you use and get them to do it while you watch so you can give them tips.
The environment and the people I work with, they're all so friendly and they're also easy to get along with.
In here in our space, if you look to the back, that's where we'll have our fully accessible training kitchen, where we will be hiring and training young people with disabilities for work back of house. And that space will accommodate mobility aids like wheelchairs. So if we have trainees who join our program that require an accessible space to learn to work at work, they'll be able to join us here. It does look a bit of a fright, but for me, it really looks like the future. For me and my family, my daughter's so excited to see it all come to light. And that's just such an exciting change. We can't wait. Now I think it's time for us to actually step into what it was that Do Good Donuts was created to do, which is to change how people think about employing with disabilities at scale.
It's my hobby to cook. That's one of my career paths I'm looking at. Like I'm going to school for cooking.
Do Good Donuts make a big impact to Spring. At 80 private provide her is this meaningful job opportunity and be included in our society. I can see Spring gain a lot of the experience, like be the confident, a lot of confidence.
People with intellectual disabilities are highly qualified, have wonderful skills. People have to have more patience.
Just a great experience. It's been one of the best years of my life, I think. It's just been neat to see it grow too. Like last summer we were just selling donuts and cookies, and this summer we're doing donuts, cookies, cinnamon buns, brownies, sometimes doing other things. We're planning on doing apple fritter at some point. So there's it's just nice to see it like change, and it's just nice to see staff come and go, and it's just, yeah, it's great.
Our Community will return after the break. We now return to Our Community.
We've been selling at farmers markets, so we've been producing food within community kitchens and then selling them this year at only one farmers market, but in the past 2.5 years at 2 farmers markets per week.
Hello, welcome to Do Good Donuts. How may we help you today?
For her and for my son, they see this as a family business, that this is a business that was created so that Alma could see people like her working and grow up wanting to work and being curious about work. I'm really hoping by the time she is old enough to work, whenever that is, that she has lots of choices. She could work with us making donuts, but she could also go walk dogs or work in a daycare. Or I think what I really want for her is to just dream big, and then we'll figure out whatever the best way is for her to get there. And hopefully there's stepping stones like Do Good Donuts on the way.
I think the stressful days can be a lot, like Sundays for some people I know can be a lot. So it's just important to make sure it's a calm environment mostly. It's okay if there's a bit of stress because you're trying to get everything on time.
We arrive like 7. Yeah, I have to get up like around 5 in the morning, which is pretty hard, but it's worth it. Just getting up early in the morning. That's the hardest part. Yeah.
My favorite moment in discovering what it means to the people who work with us, there was a day where I was talking to 2 of our employees, Spring and Amanda, and I said, hey, like, I know you love coming to work. Like, isn't it great to have your own money? And she said, money? I made a best friend. That's way more important.
What can we do good donuts? I love making. I like selling. Making people happy. I want to help people.
Hello. May I have a couple cinnamon buns, please?
I'll get it.
Thank you. Can I get one more? All right. Thank you.
The secret is the more you greet, the more donuts. The less donuts the people at the tent here have to work with. Because there's a lot of, like, in the mornings we do a lot of preparing with the donuts, and it's a lot of work getting the donuts from one place to the other place. The things that make the farmers market special is that you get to spend time with family, you get to meet people, you get to interact, you get to make friends on the way.
You haven't even eaten all the donuts yet.
Nope.
This is a no sugar situation.
Ah.
Her dream is to find a full-time job. We hope is Do Good Donuts have a shop open, and coffee shop open sooner. She can work for there.
I think it's something that many people are missing, empathy and connection. And I want to make this world a better place. I want to be the change I want to see in this planet.
When I look to the future in 5 years, I see Do Good Donuts growing with multiple locations and having a training program that's recognized. What I'm really hoping is that in 10 years, there are so many young people who are just going to interviews and getting jobs out and about in the world that they don't need us anymore.
I see franchises across Canada. No, it's got a great future. The project is great. The leadership is incredible. I'm hoping to continue on for a while with Do Good. It's my retirement project.
And one day, this employee was walking down the street. We're in kind of the same neighborhood. And I said, hey, what are you up to? And he said, oh, I wanted to have pizza. My mom said she didn't want pizza, but then she reminded me I had my own money. So I said we should go get pizza. And he walked down to go get the pizza, and he walked back with the pizza. And I cried. Because if we could give people the chance to have the opportunity to also augment or fully sustain themselves with their own money, then that whole picture that was painted for me disappears. And I think that's really important too.
Director Nick Appleton. Producers Nick Appleton, Tyler Cameron. Camera Nick Appleton, Max Vartanian. Editor Rod Christie. Sound Mike Mearden, Carlos Valdez. Audio post Colin Caddies. Narrator Mark Phoenix. Integrated Described Video Consultant Ron Rickford. Supervising Producer Jennifer Johnson. Content Development Specialist Karen McGee. Director Programming Lizanne Gagne. Director Content Development and Production Kara Nye. Vice President Content Development and Operations John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2024 Accessible Media Inc.
An AMI original production.